Do you have questions concerning planning a Disney trip? Ask them live on the show or submit them on our website at patmdisneytravel.wixsite.com/planning. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Matt with the DPI podcast. It is Tuesday. It is DPI live time. We are going to have some fun tonight. We might have Peter with Princesses and the Mouse join us if swimming allows. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on at the parks now that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is open, kind of. And we're going to talk a little bit of Lorcana set championships. So stick with us. It's going to be a good show. Hi, I'm Matt. Welcome to Disney Planning Insights. Through creative content and live shows, we explain the hidden details of the Disney experience so that our clients can execute memorable adventures. Together with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel, we have helped hundreds of clients plan, book, and prepare for magical Disney vacations. Let our experience help you avoid common planning mistakes and maximize the enjoyment on your next Disney trip. Hey, what's going on? It's Matt. It's the DPI podcast. It's Tuesday night, July the 2nd, so we're going to have our July 1st week of show today. Not a ton going on around the parks. So we're going to talk a little bit of Lorcana tonight with set championships coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about construction projects. We got a little bit more going on with construction projects around the parks. And what do the new permits mean for Walt Disney World? We're going to talk about a little bit of the hit and miss reliability with Tiana's Bayou Adventure over the weekend. It's Disney in the summer, basically. So we're kind of on that lead up to D23, and what that means is we're waiting on news more than anything. We're waiting on a leak. Last year, the leak started coming about 2.5 weeks before D23. So if we're looking at, that first week of August, probably middle of July, we're going to start getting some information on what's going to be announced at D23. Some of the things they keep real tight-lipped on, some of them they don't. So definitely going to have our ears to the ground when it comes to that kind of stuff, because, I think this is a relatively big year when it comes to announcements with D23. So we want to make sure that we're kind of on the front end of what's going on for sure this year. So if you have any ideas, definitely put them in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking about what's going to be announced at D23. I mean, we know that we're going to get the Central Americas announcement. They're already really close to a point where they can start saying, okay, it's almost shoveling ground time. So they gotta figure that out, because they have the trailer park already ready. They've got the trailer park permits already ready. Let's take a step back and at least say it that way. The trailer park permits are ready because they are going to have Walt Disney Imagineering, all your outside contractors. You're going to have a lot of people on site to build this project, and they're going to be there for a long time. And the length of the permits may indicate that they might be there longer than just the Central America's Dino Land thing happens. So really interested to see kind of, again, the announcement there, because nothing is certain. We've seen some artwork on what could be, but there's nothing set in stone right now. Absolutely nothing set in stone. So with that being said, let's go ahead, let's get into the news. Let's hit the top news for the week, and then we'll talk a little bit about D23 and what might be coming with that. right, 15 minutes. We've got the news. Really, the big news this week was Tiana's Bayou Adventure opened to the public on Friday, the 28th. Was met with some up and down time over the first few days. Actually, an evacuation happened Sunday on the ride. Evacuation drained the drop hill and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of hit and miss still a little bit, like it was during the previews, which sucks. You know, I'd like to see that have better reliability, especially with as much fanfare as they're putting into it, and as much as they're really trying to push this, hey, we made something better agenda for the ride. It's not reliable enough right now to where it's getting that ridership that I think it needs to get that positive review, an overwhelming positive review. Now, a lot of people that I've seen that have ridden it have said nice things about it, not necessarily gushing things about it, but some nice things about it. Some of the scenes look pretty decent, but you know, I'm gonna hold judgment, and I haven't even watched the ride yet to know what we're actually dealing with. I haven't watched a ride through yet, which Disney put out before the previews really even started, just to kind of knock down that, hey, you know, the bloggers are going to come in and steal everybody's thunder and post a ride video really quick, and then nobody really wants to ride it, which isn't going to happen. But that's the mindset that they have, is, you know, somebody's coming to come in, tape the ride, and then, you know, we're going to have 3 people on the ride every day. No, that's not what happens. So yeah, so it did open. It has been open since Friday. It has been running on a virtual queue, which has been going very quick in the mornings. So if you aren't on at 7 a.m. in the mornings, you are going to have some issues. What else happened last week? We heard that some changes are coming to Disney Cruise Lines as far as your port return times. So in the past, getting back to the ship happened at 4 p.m. if you weren't on the ship by 4 p.m. or you weren't basically in a dead sprint down the pier yelling and waving your hands. They were locking things up and getting ready to leave without you. Now they have moved that up an hour, so it is now to 3 p.m. So if you are out at a port, say you're at Nassau in the Bahamas, and you got to get back to the boat by 3 p.m. So that boat can lock up and get out. So just keep that in mind. It's a little bit of a change. I think for a lot of people, it's probably a bigger change than, at least for our family, you know, especially Nassau. You know, if we go somewhere else, maybe it makes a big difference. You know, even like Castaway Cay, that could be a little bit of an issue. That doesn't give you a ton of out time, you know. By the time that the boat gets docked and you can get off, it's probably 9:30. So you've only got about 6 hours to where you can enjoy that private island. So that's a pretty big deal when it comes to some people when you're cruising with Disney. Also, we heard that the Disney Dream, when it goes into the dry dock, we might be getting some newer suites in the Disney Dream. So interesting to see what they're going to do with that, because that would be a big deal. Disney Dream's one of the older ships, so for it to get some bigger suites would be kind of cool. Seeing some love on the older ships. What else did we get announced last week? We got Eat to the Beat announced last week. Eat to the Beat is during Food and Wine Festival. And they bring in a bunch of different acts. And I say, like, everything from like a low B tier act, low to mid A tier acts. This year we've got The Fray, Sugar Ray, Hoobastank, Yellow Card, Tiffany, Mercy Me, Sheila E., The Wanted, Luis Figueroa, Maui Ricky, Jesse and Joy, Aloe Block, Joey Fatone and Friends, We the King, Switchfoot, David Archuleta, Billy Ocean Hansen, Haley Reinhart featuring Emily Estefan, Casey Abrams, and Janelle Parrish, Boys to Men, Magic, Parmalee, Smash Mouth, and 98 Degrees. Yeah. So a lot of bands that you've probably heard of, or groups that you've probably heard of. Eat to the Beat back there at the stage at the American Pavilion. You can get VIP passes through some of the Eat to the Beat dining partners, which it kind of works the same as like your Fantasmic VIP seating at Hollywood Studios. So there is a list of restaurants that you can eat at to do the Eat to the Beat package. And that's where you would get that VIP seating. So first tier seating for those shows. So definitely something, if you like one of those bands, definitely something to look into, and we can help you out with here at Princesses and the Mouse, the travel side. What else has happened? Rock and Roller Coaster opened yesterday. Rock and Roller Coaster wasn't supposed to open until the end of July. All of a sudden, over the weekend, we were getting some rumblings that it was going to open on Monday, July 1st. And it did. Open July 1st. From what it sounds like, they did a relatively good track refresh. A lot of riders have said that that is the smoothest the ride has ever run. And the blacklight painting stuff has been updated as well. So definitely, if you haven't ridden Rock and Roller Coaster in a while, which a lot of us haven't, take some time and go ride Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios. Coming to the Disney Treasure, the new ship that is going to be running the South Pacific area, the Southeast Pacific out of Singapore. They announced a new Guardians of the Galaxy dinner show that's going to be coming to Worlds of Marvel, which is one of the restaurants on the Disney Treasure. And it's going to be called the Marvel Celebration of Heroes, the Groot Remix. So, awesome music mix, tells a story, going to be a lot of fun. Sounds like there's some trivia involved, that kind of stuff as well. For your longer cruises, where you go to restaurants multiple times, if you are on the rotation that gets to the Worlds of Marvel twice, you are going to get the Groot Remix show one time. You are going to get the show that is currently on the Wish the other time. So that's kind of cool as well. Space Mountain at Disneyland Park is going to close for refurbishment on August 5th. The closure is expected to last about a month while Disney updates the lighting throughout the ride, including the attraction's tunnel. Work will also be done to the flooring inside the attraction. So about a month down, if you're planning one of those late summer vacations out to Disneyland, Space Mountain's going to be down. Peter Pan's flight at Walt Disney World will also be closing here for a refurbishment on July the 8th. So next Monday, ride is currently set to reopen on August 21st. So this is almost a 2-month closure. Now, what is nice about this is once this goes down, shortly thereafter, Country Bears is coming back, and that's where all this traffic is going to go, is right over to Country Bears to check out that new show. So Walt Disney World's in a good spot with openings and closings until Big Thunder Mountain goes down. Run Disney general registration for the Disneyland Half Marathon weekend is open right now. So definitely, if you want to do the Disneyland Half Marathon weekend, get on Run Disney right now and check it out. It opened at 10 a.m. Eastern this morning. Let's see what we actually have. I'll see if there is anything available. Run Disney. Run Disney. Let's see if there's anything available for the Disneyland run. 12K at Christmas. How about you just give me a menu with the Disneyland run. Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend. The yoga's sold out, the 5K sold out, the 10K sold out, the kids races are sold out, and if you want to run the half marathon, it is still available. And the Dumbo Double Dare is still available. The half marathon is $260, and the Double Dare, which is the 10K and the half marathon, is $440. So if you want to run and pay a lot of money to do it, there you go. There is still some availability on the longer races and the challenge. So, but just another great Disney fail when it came to a release of an event. Other event releases, not so scary. Very Merry Christmas tickets went on sale this morning, and Jollywood Nights tickets went on sale this morning. As far as I know, I haven't seen any sellouts yet for either event, so this tends to linger a little bit, and then once we get into like August, beginning of September, that's when we start seeing a lot of sellouts start to happen. But yeah, haven't seen anything on sellouts yet for that, and that's even like the first day. I haven't seen a sellout announcement on that yet either. So if you are wanting to go to one of those events, they are ridiculously expensive this year, $169 to $219 per person for the event. And you can go to WaltDisneyWorld.com to check those out, or you can reach out to your friendly travel agent and we can help you book that as well. As far as that goes, that's about everything on the news. Like I said, relatively light news week this week, so we're gonna beat the timer, which we don't normally do, which is pretty crazy for the news this week. So if you have anything that you're seeing, let us know. If you have anything that you're wondering about, if you saw it and you're like, hey, is this really happening? Definitely reach out to us and ask us, because we will help you figure out if things are happening. But while the news thing is still going, we're going to talk a little bit about Lorcana. Lorcana Ursula's Return set championships are all through the month of July at your local game stores. Definitely, if you are interested, get on the Lorcana website or the Melee website. They can both kind of lead you in the right direction for local events. Ravensburger gave the game stores the whole month to kind of schedule it this time instead of just a couple of weekends. So really helped out a lot of stores, especially with the holiday weekends and that kind of stuff. Spread out their events. So I know we live kind of in the central Indiana area, and there are a lot of different events scheduled over all 4 weekends in July, which is kind of cool. And we are going to be hitting one this weekend, this Saturday. So if you've been following the Learning Lorcana segment, that was one of my goals for this year, was to get to one of these events. And that's what we're going to do. We are taking an Emerald and Steel deck, and going to Moonshot Games in Noblesville, Indiana, and that's where we're going to play our event. So if you want to check that out on Melee, you can check out the event as it's happening on the Melee website, and you can follow my progress through the event. But yeah, I am taking, let's see where we are with the timer here. I don't want to talk through the timer too much, 1 minute and 6 seconds. So as that timer ends, we'll flip over to the other screen. But I am doing a Bucky and Diablo deck. The original plan wasn't to play Diablo, but the more I played it, the more I liked it. It is a varied deck from what you see online, but I am playing a lot of the Floodborn characters, such as the Jafar Dreadnought, and let's see, I'm playing the big Diablo, of course. Surely you're going to pick him up. Wow. He doesn't want to pick it up. It's Devoted Herald. There it is. I'm playing Curse Merfolk, which is a big change in this deck. A lot of people that are playing this deck are not playing this card. So, interested to see how that plays. Also playing the Flynn Rider, his own biggest fan, which a lot of people are not playing in this deck as well. So yeah, definitely a big mix of cards, playing a lot of Dreamborn cards to catch that Bucky discard, and or a bunch of Floodborn cards to catch that Bucky discard, and using some other tech cards in there as well to elicit some different things that people aren't necessarily, like I said, using in that Emerald Steel. So yeah, I'm interested. It's been playing pretty well in our league. We did play a starter deck league that was more of a, hey, we're going to play a couple games with our starter decks, and then we're going to work on our constructed decks type league. And it did pretty well in that, so I'm interested to see kind of how it performs with some different players. You know, you learn a lot of the people that you play against a lot. You learn kind of their tendencies and that kind of stuff. I'm interested to see how it plays and how it stands on its own without people knowing what's coming at them, and without people necessarily knowing how I play the deck, because I do play it a little bit differently than other players. I play the line, especially the beginning line, a little bit differently. So yeah, definitely something I'm excited to see this weekend. I don't have big expectations, you know. I don't expect to make the top 8, but I do expect to be relatively competitive. And maybe, you know, if I'm a 50% win in this kind of setting, I think that's going to be a win for me, with where I am in learning how to play the game and understanding kind of the tactics and that kind of stuff that it takes to win in these types of events. So yeah, so definitely excited for that. What else do we have going on? We have a cruise coming up. Peter with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel have a cruise coming up. So we're excited to talk a little bit about that over on the YouTube channel. We just were able to release Dreams That Soar, the Dronezios drone show at Disney Springs. So Dronezios is the company that does the drone shows at Disneyland Paris that you're seeing all over YouTube right now. They did release the copyright on the music for most countries, now that it's been over on iTunes for a while now, or on Spotify or wherever they released it to originally. So now they are allowing us to post the videos on YouTube without a full copyright on them. And that's a cool show. Our Happily Ever After show is up from right behind the partner statue. It's a great view of the show. It's a fantastic video of the show. If you haven't seen that yet, go over and check that out. Our Luminous video is up as well, and it's doing well. We found a little nook, and it's by the stage in the Americas Pavilion. Watch the show. You can kind of figure out where we are. It is an unbelievable spot that we kind of lucked into just walking by it, and nobody was standing there. And we got a really good look at that show as well. So definitely go over there. Those are our 3 newest videos over on the channel. Talking with Peter with Princesses and the Mouse today. It sounds like he's getting ready to jump back into the video. So we're going to be doing some more of our talking head content, whether it's top 3s or if it's going to be like our top 10s at a park, or, you know, we've talked about redoing the So You're Going to Disney series now that we're post-COVID. You know, we did that series about 5 years ago now, and a lot has changed. So we're talking about redoing that to update it, and with as much B-roll as we have now, I think we can make it a much better production of a video as well. So that's something to look forward to that we might be working on over the summer as well. So if you've got a trip coming up, have any questions for us, definitely put it in the chat, put it in the comments, reach out to us over on Facebook or Twitter. We are happy to help you guys, with questions, planning issues, that kind of stuff. Anything that we can help you out with, more than willing to help out, so that you can have a very much enjoyable Disney vacation, because that's why we do this. So I want to thank you guys all for watching tonight. I'm going to go ahead and end the show early, and we'll talk to you guys again next Tuesday. It will be July the 9th next Tuesday. Man, we're flying through the year, so we'll see you then. Have a good day. Bye now. We didn't have any guests. We talked a little bit of news, we talked a little bit of Lorcana, and we got out of here. We might have one next week. Check it out. If you are looking for us on the internet, you can find us in a lot of different places. The easiest is going to be over on Facebook at DPI Podcast for the show, at PATM Disney Travel for the travel page. If you want to go over to Twitter, getting grossed with a conversation with us, we're at Disney Insights, and we also have YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, a lot of different. Listening, liking, sharing, subscribing, everything that you do to support the channel. Have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you next week. Bye now.